Hello and welcome to another video. And there's a few videos I want to make at the moment, but this one I'm going to make at this particular moment in time. And if you do get any ideas for topics you want me to cover, I may not be signed up to all different YouTube channels you see. So if I miss anything that looks juicy, especially since Amico Forever has pretty much come to a dead end in terms of what it can provide these days. We've seen DJC unboxes Amico. Well, unbox Mike Miller's Amico anyway. What else are they going to show? They can't show it working if it does work at all. They can't show it playing games. So what's the point in it? What else can they bring apart from talk about things that aren't going to happen? Anyway, so yeah, if you can always DM me on Twitter. I think that works. we might have to be following each other. I don't know. I haven't quite grasped that. It used to be a case that you had to follow people on Twitter and they had to follow you, and then you could both DM each other. And then sometimes you see people have their DMs open. So I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, if my DMs aren't open, if you can't, if you want to send me some information, etc., of what to look at, tweet me at DVDfever if the DMs aren't open, and I'll follow you back, and then we'll go from there. And then you should be able to DM me. There was a time when, quite a few years ago now, some celebrity they sent me a DM about a show they were on, and I wanted to reply to the DM. You think it'd be fairly straightforward? I mean, I was following them, they weren't following me, so all I could do was try and sort of tweet them and say, "Please, can you follow me back so I can reply to your DM?" And they didn't, because obviously they're busy and they got waylaid with other stuff. But surely, at the very least, if someone DMs you on Twitter, you should be able to DM them back a reply when you're having a normal conversation. I don't understand it. I used to be good with technology and then I got old. But talking of old people, we've got men talking, then interviewing a former Intellivision fanboy. So this is something that happened a few days ago, and I'm just sort of getting around to it now because I only just sort of heard about it. And I tried looking on his YouTube channel, but he doesn't. ReviewTechUSA doesn't do. It doesn't really seem to do much on YouTube these days because he ran out of ideas. But the only thing I can agree with him on is that he got sick of doing YouTube videos when he'd get news videos up, and pretty much every video would come up as not suitable for advertisers. Pretty much every video I make involving a certain husband and wife couple. I don't want to mention the name in case it stings this video as well. But a certain husband and wife couple who completely maligned a photographer, and when the photographer was in the right, you know who I mean. That pair. Every time I mention them in their subject header, it ends up saying not suitable for advertisers, and because it's basically a news piece, I want to get it on there as soon as possible. So the video just sort of sits there half the day, not being seen by a lot of people because I'm waiting for YouTube to say it's okay. It says it can take up to 7 days to greenlist the video, or whitelist the video, but I don't know why it happens. It's really stupid. It certainly seems to be happening more and more anyway. So if I can hang on a day before I put a video up, then I will do. I was about to say a gameplay video up then, but in fact a couple of gameplay videos have been stung by that as well. For a game that at least those weren't time critical, so I could hang back on those a bit. But there's a game called A Memoir Blue, which I think there's about 6 or 7 videos I've got on YouTube for that, the whole game, and about 3 of them got stung for not suitable for advertisers. It's the most beautiful game you can imagine, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's fantastic, and it got stung as problematic. I mean, God, stupid. Talk of stupid things before we get on to talking Amico. How about this? Now, for whatever reason, the picture at the top has disappeared, but this is, I'm really sorry. I do apologise. I'm showing the Daily Mail website. Maybe it's because I've got adverts blocked in AdBlock Plus. That's probably all that was there. Buddy, God Almighty, this was published on Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock. I mean, God, it's we've had a great summer. It's been really nice weather, and sort of for a good few months, sort of I don't know, just because of when lockdowns stopped happening, and we all sort of managed to get out more. And I know I was sort of earlier this year. I mean, my mum died from COVID early 2021. And most of 2021, I just sort of sat there in a daze, quite frankly, wondering what the fuck was going on. And then 2022 came along, and just sort of any time I was off, I was just sort of, I don't think, slowly going out of my fucking mind. But then as soon as sort of spring came round, and I don't know, anytime I sort of went for a walk, you see, outside, I just sort of seemed to go around the same places and not really get too far going anywhere. And I was only out of the house for about, even at the weekend, only out of the house for about 45, 50 minutes a day, no more than an hour. And before I was back at home again, I was just thinking, why the fuck am I back here? I've been here enough. When lockdown first started, I never thought I never thought there was any such thing as being at home too much, because it was great. You could be at home and just do your own thing, well, apart from when you're working, of course. But it was just bizarre. I just kept thinking I've got to go somewhere, and I didn't really know what to do. And we had it was the start of June this year when we had the Queen's Silver Jubilee, Platinum Jubilee celebrations. She'd been on the throne 70 years, long time to be on the toilet, but tish. And so that was the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which was, so instead of a late May Day bank holiday in May, we had sort of the Thursday and Friday. They made it 2 days instead. So the end of that week, basically, they made it 2-day weekend, well, 4-day weekend as it was. But I just thought, because I spent enough time, either at home or being off or whatever, I thought, why do I want to? I don't want to be off. Which sounds ridiculous. And I just thought, what the hell am I going to do? And then I saw the council had turned off the machines that make you pay for a car park ticket in Stockport. And I've not been down there for such a long time. Well, I've been there, I think I'd have been there. I went down there once for like a cosplay thing in late May, also mid-May, I think it was. But I hadn't sort of been into Stockport for years. When I was a kid, I went in the 80s. I'd go down to Stockport all the time and buy video games from Boots with the ZX Spectrum. God, I can even remember going down one Saturday morning, buying Technician Ted for the Spectrum, and then getting the bus back and spending all day playing that. Great. I think I spent £6 on that game. But anyway, I just thought I had to get out of the house. So yeah, even though I've got all these video games, loads of video games I could sit at home playing, I didn't want to be in the house and play them, which sounds mad. So I just ended up on that particular. I might try. Well, if I try to remember, I'll put a picture up. But I just sort of wandered around Stockport because I thought, well, it's the Queen's doodah. There's got to be a lot going on in Stockport, right? And well, I had a look around. Quite frankly, there wasn't an awful lot because nothing had really started. As it turned out, there was just stuff happening on the Saturday. In fact, everywhere, in every sort of town, there seemed to be something happening on the Saturday. But absolutely sweet Fanny Adams happening on the Thursday, Friday, or Sunday. But on the Thursday, I bumped into, I just chanced upon, there were two women who, they kind of looked Russian, but they were dressed as beef eaters on stilts. And I had a picture taken with them. I just saw other people getting their picture taken with them. And I just thought, I hate having somebody touch my stuff. And I hate having someone else touch my phone. But there's only one way I can get someone to, I can have a picture taken with me and these two ladies, is to ask somebody else to hold my phone and take a picture. So out of the people who were, there were like some mums with the kids, so I just sort of looked at the mum who was looked like they had the cleanest hands, and I just thought, I said politely, can you please take my picture with these ladies? And she did. So it was great, and I'm so glad I did that. I mean, yes, I've got a bottle of hand gel, not hand gel thing, it's like sort of hand wash thing, and I sort of used that on my phone case afterwards. But I was so glad I'd done it in the end because I was so pleased with it. It was fantastic. But the Friday, I think I just went. I was going to have a walk around Sale, around the sort of canal area because I've not been there for a long time since my dad died a few years earlier, and then. I sort of got to Sale, and then I thought I don't really want to be in Sale today, and I went a bit further up the motorway towards Trafford Centre and had something to eat there, and which is about the only time I've been to the Trafford Centre and not gone to the cinema. I had something to eat and then had a good walk around. So, and then the Saturday I went to Stockport, had a walk around there while also eating some food because he had street vendors and had a couple of bands on. I got there about sort of 1ish, and everything just seemed to it turned out it seemed to have started around about sort of 12ish. So I should have got down there a bit earlier, really. And next time we have a 70th platinum celebration, I'll be there for that. But Charles has only just taken the throne, and so if he becomes, I think he's about 73. So when he's 143, we'll then have another 70th. Platinum thing, and I'll be over 100, so I'm sure we'll both be around for that. And God knows whether I'll still be up to walking around, I don't know. But yeah, really enjoyed it. It was the kind of thing I never thought I would do when I was a kid, just sort of walking around Stockport, watching live bands and things like that, just impromptu, just watching them because I spotted them as they went around. So as I went around, I just saw them when I went. Then what else? And then on the Sunday was weird. I mean, now I've taken if I've not got anything planned over my weekend, I've taken one day to going for a walk around Stockport, not Stockport, Sale, up and down the canal there, because it's really nice, and so that's where my dad used to live. Although we never went walking up and down the canal before anyway. But it's just nice to go around there. But you need good weather to be doing that. But the Sunday of that particular weekend for the Queen thing, I just had a walk around the local area, and again I just walked around and I was back home within an hour, and I just thought, oh, this is shit. So after the whole hullabaloo of the Saturday in Stockport, in fact on the Saturday night I'd then gone out into town and had a lot to drink, so I was a little bit worse for wear on the Sunday anyway, so I probably wouldn't have wanted to go for a long walk. But hell, why don't I just go to the cinema or something, you know? But anyway, I've got my head together a bit more now. So if I have a sort of big night, I'll try not to waste the day after when I've got a little bit of a hangover by try and make sure I sort of go see something at the local cinema and just watch a film there in the afternoon. Just try and clear my head a little bit rather than waste the day sitting at home. And then maybe the other day of the weekend I'll just go and have a good walk in Sale. By the way, it's just if you're stuck at a loose end at any point, just try and make sure you have a plan for things. So that's recommended in my view. But so I've enjoyed sort of going out and about during the summer and all that, and now we're getting into autumn and winter and not bang the microphone, and we're getting into November, and it's all these bloody killjoys. You know, it's the time of the year when it's normally bloody freezing, and on Saturday we had one day where it was like really warm. Now I know there was a bit of weather, and I went to the cinema on Saturday to see Black Adam. What a bloody boring film that was. I'm going to film with lots of special effects whizzing about and just endless punch-ups. How can it be so bloody dull? I don't know. But anyway, I did that, and then I went for a walk afterwards to Cafe Nero to get a drink. Because if you're on 3, the mobile phone service, Cineworld have £3 tickets for a normal 2D film, and then also discounts on all the other formats. And you get a drink from Cafe Nero for £1. But And I took a big raincoat with me, and then because I knew it was going to rain, but I assumed it would be cold. But no, it was just bloody boiling. So by the time I'd walked around to Disbury to Cafe Nero and back, I was absolutely bloody roasting. So apparently it's a problem that in October we have warm weather. You know, they're just upset. These idiots are upset that we're not freezing our bollocks off in bloody October. Absolutely does my bloody head in. What is the matter with you? What is the matter with you? And they just sit there bleating, oh, it's climate change, and the planet's warming up. Oh no, what are we going to do when the planet's getting a bit hotter sometimes? I'll tell you what you're going to do when the planet's getting a little bit warmer. Fucking enjoy it. Especially in this country, we're freezing bloody cold all the time. Because it never stops bloody raining. So then you get a bit of weather and these fucking idiots complain about it. Enjoy the bloody hot weather. Christ on a bike. I mean, I then went for a walk, I say, on Sunday, and I was just a bit bloody cold, and it kept sort of threatening to rain every now and again, which was very annoying. I want dry weather. Let it rain during the night when I'm asleep. Ramble on a little bit longer than I thought I was going to. So let's get on to ReviewTechUSA. Talking to what's his name? Retro Bro. Yeah. Let's just get into it. And in any event, after the other day when I heard about Blue, going back on tour, I'm still having a Duncan James ball. It's great. Good old Duncan James. Anyway, let's get on to review. Now, he has some other guy talking with him. I've not watched any live streams from Rich before, except when he's just sat in his pants, just taking his shirt off for people, just like sat in his basement. So I've not watched him for a while, so I don't know who this other guy is who's talking. I don't really care, but he's got a beard. Men shouldn't have beards because it's just ridiculous. It just makes you look older. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Yes.
So I actually, Rich, before I got a pretty good idea what we're going to talk about, but I was genuinely curious. So when you had,
I can't. It's stupid. You can't click on that to pause it. You can click on it to start it, but you can't click on it to pause it. Now I've just sort of skipped a bit of the intro where Retro Bro was blowing smoke up the arse of Rich and whoever the other guy is. Yeah. So there's nothing really there. And I think this is about half an hour or so. So we'll just see what he has to say. But yeah, obviously talking about the Amico.
Invited me on, I wasn't going to come on. I really.
Okay, I'll just pause it. Yeah.
It wasn't because, I had my expectations of what I might expect, and I talked to two people, and they're like, "No, go on. It'll be all right. He'll be cordial." And I'm the kind of guy that if you have a conversation, I'm always willing to have that conversation with someone. So two people that I trust in the community said, they went to bat for you essentially.
I presume someone's given him a donation and he can't be bothered even to say thank you for it.
And said, go talk to him. He's a good dude. He'll just want to talk. So here I am. But I am curious, out of all the people who talk shit to you online, because I follow you on Twitter, so I see it. Why did you invite me on?
You
sounds like he doesn't even know what day it is.
You were one of Tommy's closest allies. Like if
he was a shill for the Amico.
There was only one other person that would
at the Amico After Dark podcast, live stream, whatever you call it. And I think we got to season 2 of that, and after 2 or 3 shows, he just called it a day.
Be DJC Studios, and I was debating on which one of you went closer to smelling Tommy's taint. So,
what a nice, pleasant thought.
I think DJC got closer to the butthole.
Got closer to the butthole.
Yeah, he was.
So, what got you involved? He could come sniff my butthole. I just showered.
Lovely.
What got you involved with Intellivision?
I doubt you've just showered. You've been sat in that chair in those hot clothes in a hot studio for an hour and a half at least.
And what? Well, we'll start with that. What got you involved with Intellivision?
Did it smell like pepperoni, by the way?
More salami. It had a sweeter smell to it.
Thank you.
No, Rich, I don't know what it is he's drinking. He's drinking soda of some sorts. Why don't you just have some water with you? If you're just drinking endless cans of soda, that is not good for you. If you have, so my dentist told me, if you're going to drink, Pepsi, I'm going to go for Pepsi Max, something like that, drink it through a straw. So get some plastic straws, drink it through that. It'll bypass your teeth, and it won't rot your teeth. Of course, it's difficult. I have to get I feel like I'm having to buy them on the black market. I have to get my plastic straws from eBay. I can't buy them in shops anymore. It's like, it's probably easier to buy cocaine on the streets of Manchester than it is to go to a normal shop and buy plastic straws. Fucking joke.
I wasn't interested in the Intellivision at first. I watched from afar for a while. By the way, if I'm blowing your eardrums out, please let me know. I'm not used to Zoom. I can always turn my mic down. But I wasn't really interested in it. I thought it was kind of silly. But at the same time, it was something new. And as a retro gamer and somebody who just literally has way too many consoles, I figured it might be kind of cool. But I was kind of a wait and see guy on it. So,
wait and see. He just cooked for this thing like there was no tomorrow with his endless bloody live streams. Wait and see. He was a fully paid up member of the Shill Club.
I did my very first video was back in like 2019 where they did that demo where it was like that weird sizzle reel that they had. And I kind of reacted to it. And I'm like, I don't know who this is for. It doesn't make sense. The game seemed too cheap. But on top of that, I hope it succeeds because.
Well, I mean, it seemed kind of interesting at first, the Amico. Especially if it was only going to be around $150. Something cheap and cheerful, spend a few quid on it, get some cheap games, nothing you couldn't do on a mobile phone, but hey, it might be a bit of fun. And then before you know it, the price rocketed. I think now if you wanted to buy it, it would go up to about $350, $400. It's just something ridiculous. It's just absolute baloney. It really is.
Because I don't want to see people fail, right? Because at the time, I actually owned my own business at the time. I know what it's like to own a business. It sucks. It's hard. I didn't want to see anybody fail. So kind of.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Followed it from afar again. I saw.
That's not an invitation to harass docs, whatever. Don't start digging up work shit and posting it everywhere. I don't want to know where Retro Bro works. It's just curiosity. Just why is he not owning his own business? Unless he's just sort of, maybe it fell apart through COVID. I don't know. Like a lot of them did. Maybe he's just decided it's easier just to work for someone else than it is to work for yourself.
Smash JT, who I've been friends with for years, kind of got on board and he did, the famous Ferrari ride and whatnot. And I was like, this is kind of silly. And then one night I was just streaming and I was talking about it and I happened to clip that part of my stream out. Now,
I mean, the Intellivision are clearly thieves, especially with all the money they've taken. I was going to make a video about Smash JT's video about where he started talking about Phil Adams and the Republic website that was down and then came back up again. And if he is watching this, which he probably isn't, I don't know. Smash, I like you, but just it's a really bad take. Just what you said about Phil Adam. All the money he's taken, the $10,000, and even still, you're just happy to give him the benefit of the doubt. Anything he says, you'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. No, he's a fucking thief. Phil Adam, Tommy Tallarico, John Avocado, they're all thieves. You go have a look on my DVD Fever website. I mentioned this before. Mark Pollard, fucking massive thief. You have a look at that. I know he lives in Canada. He escaped over to Canada somewhere, but I would never forgive him. I will never forgive him. I will never give him the benefit of the doubt. And if I could track him down at some point in my life, I would happily go and give him a really good punch up the bottom. Can't say what I'd really like to do, but anyway.
I was kind of dunking on Intellivision, and guess who shows up in my comment section the next day? Mr. Tommy Tallarico.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
So he was cordial, and he's like, "Hey, email me. I want to talk now. Keep in mind,
So yeah, even though Retro Bro was dunking on him, as he says, Tommy Tallarico is just trying to groom people, which is what Mark Pollard did. Just wants to groom people.
didn't know about his track history, that he went on smaller YouTube channels." I'm like, well, this is interesting. The guy wants to talk. I'll talk to him. Sure, why not? I don't know shit about Intellivision.
Yeah, because he'll always just go for the little man, just trying to extract little amounts from people, little and often, as much as he can, overall, because he's a fucking groomer and a thief.
So my one buddy, who is also eventually came to the cult with me, Cyrus, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, dude, I don't know shit about Intellivision. You were an Intellivision fan. Why
The game's turned Cyrus's brain into Swiss cheese.
don't you just come on with me? We'll interview this Tommy guy." So kind of came on the show, said what he always says, and we were off to the races after that.
Yeah, but what got you really smitten with the whole Intellivision brand and the product? Like, why? Where did the strong dedication come from? That was, I noticed it with other people, and it was bizarre too. Like, what made that happen with you?
It's Rich. It's so
They were just looking for someone to cling on to because they all had nothing else in their lives. Just nothing else going on, or they wanted something. Yeah, they were all sort of reaching a certain age, and they wanted something new in life. Because you get to the age of 50, and you just sort of think, well, this is pretty much about as good as my life's going to get. You know, you've had all the new experiences in life. What other new experiences are going to happen in life? Is this the point where I just think, oh, should I just fucking jack it all in now? Because nothing else is going to happen. Oh, here comes Tommy Tallarico with his promises of Willy Wonka. And then people fall for it, and that's when he fucking scams them, because he's a fucking cunt. Tommy Tallarico, you're a fucking scamming cunt. I fucking hate you. You ought to go to fucking jail. I hope you go to jail for the rest of your life for this shit.
Oh, I think it's a little different for me because a lot of these guys who are still plugged in and are still really on board are like huge Intellivision fans from back in the day. Especially DJC. Like, I have to clarify one thing before I move on with the DJC thing. The whole my jaws hitting the ground. What's so funny about that is, for those that don't know, this guy does not play new games. He plays Intellivision games to this day. So I know there was like this whole thing like, oh, that possibly, Finnegan Fox, no way it looked good. For D.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he plays a lot of Intellivision games on his website or his YouTube channel, and it's old Atari games, Atari 2600, and and plays Evercade stuff. But I saw Darius talking about this, and yeah, DJC's got a Nintendo Switch, so he will be aware of modern games. But I don't know, maybe Retro Bro's just burning the ground at anyone these days. He's got nothing to lose.
DJC, it looked good. Promise me when I tell you. it looked good when he saw it, because he's not used to that. That's new for him. So because this guy literally,
I don't think he's mad, but he's not backwards.
Literally plays Intellivision constantly. That's what he does. He doesn't play. I think he plays like Sega Genesis sometimes. So he was not, as crazy as that sounds, he was dead serious.
I don't buy it. Dude, there's Genesis games that look better than Finnegan Fox. like, come on.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair. He's like hyper, excited about everything that he does on his channel. But you might be right. I can't tell you what he's thinking, but it did not surprise me that he would think that game looked good. Now, okay, going back to the whole what sold me on Intellivision. For me as a content creator, which I failed miserably at, as you stated previously, for me it was like, hey, this is something I can cover. Maybe this is a chance for me to maybe kind of grow my channel a little bit.
Yeah, he just fell for Tommy's lies about, we'll just promote you on YouTube, and if you talk about us, and we'll show you on our channel, we'll be Intellivision like the old days of Mattel Intellivision, even though it's a different company. But they're just trying to get in all the old fanboys, just with the promises of untold riches. So Tommy Tallarico is just behaving like Mark Pollard. Both an absolute couple of cunts. Both ought to spend their fucking lives in jail.
I knew it.
And it was, and I've said this before, Rich, by the way, it was one of those things where I was like, no one's really covering this. There's no big YouTubers covering this. I was genuinely excited about being involved in a project that was a new video game
Sancho.
console.
So, I believe you.
That's kind of why I became on board. And then Tommy, as Tommy does, was I wish if you had the camera on, I would be quoting my friend. He was my friend.
Air quotes you're doing is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to ask how you feel about Tommy now, considering what
I haven't talked to Tommy in probably since, I want to say, April or May.
What? Oh, come on. Must be before that. Must be 2020. Possibly sometime in 2021. No, when you were like the official Amico news. You declared yourself that you were just cooking for him. You were the official Amico news, you claimed. Why else would you be talking to Tommy in 2022? When they fucking pretty much went to ground after, they had once they'd finished trying to sell those supposed games, which they launched in October 2021. Why on earth would you be talking to Tommy Tallarico or any of them in 2022 when there's no launch date, no more plans, nothing's coming out? Why would you be talking to them at all? Good God. He wasn't talking to him in April.
Now, did he just disappear on you, or was there some sort of chat that happened?
Oh, well.
Please explain.
Yeah, because, the real question I have is just, how did he treat you guys after it fell apart? Did he apologize to anybody? Did he say, I led you on this path?
Tommy will never apologize to anybody.
So
hold on,
No.
everyone. He's Quantum TV then.
No, he will. Listen.
I don't know who Quantum TV is, but anyway, if you know, please comment below. Don't put it in the you might have to see if I miss it if you comment in the live chat when this is doing a premiere. I'll probably miss it if I don't see it first. So and then for some reason the live chat doesn't always stay up afterwards, even though I don't do anything to stop it. But just put a comment on it. It should allow you to do that while the thing's premiering. If not, please post it afterwards, whoever Quantum TV is, etc.
He will not. He's incapable of doing that.
Yeah,
and one of the last conversations
I'm
I
so
had
shocked.
with him, one of the last conversations I had with him, I was brutally honest with the guy, and I told him, I said, Tommy, you never once all the shit I repeated to you, I said, you never once came back and said, hey, I'm sorry for doing that, or I was wrong, because I outright caught him in a lie. He lied to my face, and I called him on it personally.
Well, what was the lie?
The lie was that all that money that they had collected for pre-orders was in escrow.
Well, that was obviously a lie. All the money is a lie. They're just taking all the money and fucking pocketed it for themselves. All $17 million they've shoved in a fucking Swiss bank account in the Cayman Islands. All right. Where is the Cayman Islands? It's not in Switzerland anyway, but you get the idea. They just squirreled it away somewhere, so no one will ever see it again. And if anyone tried to sue Intellivision, they're getting dick out of this. And
then it came out that it wasn't in escrow, that the company had spent that pre-order money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they weren't getting any money from anywhere else. Tommy said, "Oh, we have got a $150 million line of credit." I think that was on the Neil Patel scam video. And it was just bollocks. Didn't have any credit at all. They were just taking pre-order money. They weren't even making a console. They're just spending it on just hiring all these people to sit there, make all these shovelware games. Well, just demos and not do any real work.
What a fucking unbelievable. I knew that happened already, but oh wow, continue.
Can I just interject with one other question here? At any point during your whole campaign to support the system, did you ever get a feeling on your side of things that shit was going to hit the fan before it did hit the fan?
Yeah. No, there was quite a few times. There was quite a few times that I felt that coming.
Again, this is kind of like the Mark Pollard thing. It's like if you look at the timeline of what happened between me and him, it goes on from around about May 2011 to around September, October 2012. which is a long time, the more and more it goes on, a sane person might be looking at that, looking at everything I've documented there, and thinking, why did you let this go on for so long, Dom? And I was it was May 2010 to October. Around May 2010 rather to October 2011, September October 2011. Well, for a lot of that time, I was in between jobs. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what to do, and I just thought this was like a kind of thing where maybe this is the direction my life is taking. I'm now sort of working for myself or in a partnership, and I can try and make something of my life rather than just working for the man. And then it became, I stupidly didn't, let my family in on this. Keep them appraised of what was going on. I didn't really tell them about anything or much about it. Certainly none of the problems, none of my fears or anything. But the more it went on, the more I was thinking, God, I'm just spending money on this, and I'm not seeing anything back for it. But it's just like it's like I got in so deep I couldn't get out. I got in so deep, and I just thought, what the fuck am I going to do? And I just about got out before I lost everything. But and it only sort of ended because he fucking did a runner. Otherwise, it might even have gone on further after that. I just don't know. But it's fucking scary. You just get sucked in, and you don't know a way out. And that's what these fucking groomers are like. Someone said to me in the comments on another video, you using the word groomer, is that different in the UK to over here in America? In America, it means like a paedophile grooming someone. Well, no, it's the same thing. Tommy Tallarico and Mark Pollard, they're grooming people. They're not to have their wicked way with them, or the horrible way, but just to steal money. But they're grooming them and just making you feel like everything you're doing is great. Mark, I might come up with ideas. We were trying to run a comedy club in Stockport, basically, and that was the idea. And we'd both come up with ideas, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's a really good idea, Dom. Yeah, that's fantastic." So you just basically blow smoke up your ass and make it feel like you're really putting a lot of work into it, and then we just build on ideas, and then every now and again, a place would come up where we consider, hiring it, taking it over, etc. And then Pollard would pull the plug on it for whatever reason, and then we'd look for somewhere else that was possibly could work, and then you just sort of pull the plug on that, and it all just kind of eventually sort of realise it's not going to happen. But by then you're sort of financially in too deep, and you don't know how you can get out of it, or when you can get out of it, if you can get out of it. Fucking drives you to the end, basically. Nearly drove me to the end, I tell you. But I'm still there to tell the tale. And if I can slap him in chains and fuck him in prison, just put him in prison, I will do. And the thing that needs to happen too. I know. I've got an idea where he is in Canada. I've contacted the police over there. If anyone in Canada wants to help, fucking get him arrested, etc., get him done by the police, make sure they do it properly, please do contact me. But yeah, he needs to be in jail. Tommy Tallarico and co need to be in jail.
How far in did you realize?
So I was probably the last delay where they didn't give a date. So that was last summer, the summer of 2021. Yeah,
I think that was when they basically got to the point where they pulled they pulled the October 2021 idea, and they just then didn't have a date after that, and then they just had those shitty pretend games. That was a big scam. That's sort of when you realise nothing's happening at all.
I was kind of like, this is not going so well. But I wanted to maybe the haters were wrong, Rich, which is ironic because Rich, that was around the same time where you kind of said, "Fuck it."
When they brought the price up to the console to $250, and I saw Finnegan Fox, I was like, this is insane. I thought the price of the console was already $250 when you interviewed him on your channel, wasn't it?
I think around that time when it was all a big buzz, it was getting up to around $200. But even then, plus, shipping and taxes, postage, whatever, it would be around 250 quid by the time you paid the duty charge, import costs.
That's when he first started that's when he said that he did market research. But what I'm saying is once he brought up the price and then I saw Finnegan Fox, that was like their new Sizzler reel. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you're charging $250 for a console that's going to play games like that? I'm like, nah. And Tommy came on. He was pissed. He came on.
I remember that stream.
And he started to getting defensive, and he's like, "No, that's because." I'm like, "But Tommy, why would you show a trailer of a game that looks terrible if you're saying it needs more work? Because it's better to see something than nothing." I'm like, "No, that's awful. That's an awful take."
So what was the just to follow?
Yeah, but it still was enough to get the money from the idiots to invest in it.
Follow up. What was the sort of argument you had with him? Like we didn't finish that. You said to him like, "Hey, dude, I'm going to tell you the truth." How did he react to that?
It wasn't more of I'm going to tell you the truth. It was I'm going to tell you how I feel, and you lied to me, and what are you going to say about it? And it became about at the moment it became about him. He made the entire conversation about him. Well, I've got this, and I got to do this. I got to deal with that, and I was doing this, and I'm like, Tommy, you're not addressing the problems I had. Like, I went to bat for you guys. I told him, I said, Tommy, I look like an asshole for you for like 6 months to a year.
Tommy made a lot of people like an asshole because Tommy's one big fucking asshole.
And it was about him.
Yeah. You chose that though. You chose to do that. That's the other thing I was going to ask you. Why were you like white knighting for Tommy
because
and defending him?
Because at the time I didn't think Tommy was manipulating me.
Again, that's exactly what a groomer does. You don't realize at first that they're manipulating you until it's too fucking late.
Really? Yeah.
No,
he gaslit the fuck out of you.
Well, it's one of those
Yes, exactly.
things because it's weird, man. Like, I could go back and without getting into too deep of personal conversations, things that were said to me, or he would send like a group chat or like a one chat to several people, and it would be like, I'm trying to think, it would be like, man, it's a shame that so and so was saying this.
Oh my God!
Really? I wish that someone would come out and make a video. Wouldn't it be great if somebody would come out and make a video?
Unbelievable.
Such and such? And the first couple times he said that to me, I was like, he's just talking to me like he's talking to me. Yeah.
So
then I saw a trend, and then after a while I realized he wasn't just sending that to me; he was sending it to several other people.
Yeah, he's just sucking up to you. Absolutely sucking up to you. That's what groomers do.
So did you have a group chat of sort of Amico people, and he would come in there and be like, "Hey guys, how are you?" And you interact with them?
I had a private chat. There was other like
because he tries to hide the truth. He tries not to. Tommy Tallarico tries not to get too many people on the on the chat at once, just in case one of them starts spilling the beans. Damage limitation.
There was like a Twitter DM that's another YouTuber had mentioned. I wasn't in that one. I think I was for like a week and I left because there was like fucking 30 people in it. I didn't need my phone blowing up several times a day.
So basically he's doing the same thing Darkside Phil does. He's implying something, hoping the audience picks up on it and takes care of it for him. So he's essentially saying to you, hey, I don't like what this guy's saying about me. I wish somebody in the community would step up and defend me.
He was using smaller YouTubers,
and yet he never stood up to defend anybody else. I'm not familiar with Darkside Phil other than him leaving his camera on and cranking one out.
I've never watched a Darkside Phil, so I don't know. I've heard the name mentioned, but I don't follow him or watch him.
Everyone's familiar with that.
Congratulations. But yeah, right. It was a pivotal moment in my life. but yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, that's
so. I know exactly. I just want to get this out so I don't forget. He basically was using you guys as free PR, and how he kept it free was by, we're friends. I wish they wouldn't say this about me. Gee, I wish someone would make a video. You're my friend, right? That's essentially what he did, is what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
He sucks up to people, and he manages to. Yeah, that's what a groomer does. He manages to do it without having any outlay for himself. Just so if any shit hits the fan after that, it would all. In this case, it would all fall on Retro Bro. Because Tommy Tallarico is a fucking cunt.
What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. So yeah, I saw that for a long time. He tried to do that with me, and when he realized, I started off with the Amico. I'm like, look, I'm not going to go into this and be a pessimistic prick because everyone says which I am. I am a pessimistic prick because there's a lot of negativity in this industry. So I'm like, all right, and I wasn't starstruck by Tommy, but yeah, I was like, oh wow, I used to see this guy back in the day with I forgot his other name on that show.
Victor Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Lucas is like the nicest guy on the fucking planet.
He is.
All right.
I'm actually friends with Victor, like big time. So
yeah, he's a great guy.
He's
so
really
I'm like,
nice.
all right, whatever. And and I had Tommy on the show a couple times, and it's painful.
That went well.
Yeah, it's. I'd rather shove this bird up my ass. I don't know if Retro Bro could see this right now, but I'd rather have this bird up my ass than
it's a large bird, Phil.
Yeah.
Than
to have a conference. Like,
it's a large bird, Rich. I don't know why I called you Phil. Too many Phils on my mind.
I will.
What you did to me.
And there's Phil. Yeah, there's Phil Adam too. We got to talk about all that.
I think you're thinking
about.
We'll
get
Dark
into
Side
that.
Phil.
Don't worry.
My failure, I will admit this.
Is Phil Adam related to Black Adam? Probably not.
That I hold myself fully accountable is that Tommy is so painful to talk to, and everyone who's doing bits and everything right now, I will answer all of them. It's just we're going to keep the flow going. I have Streamlabs open. I won't miss anybody. Is that I just wanted him to shut the fuck up. It was inexcusable. I should have done my job and did an interview, but Tommy, when he gets on a tangent, you could be there for 6 hours talking to him, and you may have gotten 2 words in.
It's almost impossible to get a word in.
Well, DJ Slopes managed to get a lot of words in, but they're all for 6 hours, but they're all bloody between 2 interviews. They're all bloody blowing smoke up his ass.
And without literally telling him to shut up.
Yes.
You have to almost just be rude to the guy. Like, Tommy, shut up. I need to, you too much here.
So I have a question. I don't want you to speak for anybody else, but maybe you can speak on this. In terms of the community and all that stuff that was built up for the Amico, are you seeing a lot of your friends in that community very upset with Tommy, or what's the situation behind the scenes in terms of Tommy basically using everybody?
Well, Tommy disappeared, but as far as like those friends, again, I do the air quotes. The ones who are still Tommy's friend, air quote, are not talking to me at all.
Oh, so he's not hearing from DJC or anyone like that? Oh, what a shame.